That's loud. Let's turn that down a bit. Share this out for a bit. What's up, Sean? Want to hop on? If you're not too busy. Dismantling the tree. All right. Sounds like fun. We're doing that tomorrow. That's the best way to spend New Year's Day. Take away all the Christmas. Hope you had a good holiday. Yeah, it was good for me too. Nothing, nothing crazy. Quiet, which is all I can ever hope for. I like uneventful things. Did watch Hawkeye on Christmas Day. Just binged that. That was really good. Definitely my favorite of the shows. And that spawned me to watch Widow, which was actually really good. I really enjoyed Black Widow as well. You know, a lot of people gave it slack. Yeah, so on the Hulk, I nerfed the background because of poor planning, but luckily I was able to salvage it last night with airbrush. So, I mean, it's not a scene per se, but it's not just random blue blotches, which is what I had before. And when I did this, I didn't do a super detailed mask. Um, I just did a rough, fussy cut on paper and taped it down, which worked just fine. But because the mask wasn't perfect, there's a couple of edges that obviously are just need to be touched up, which is what I'm doing now. Just putting the green to cover up the blue glow. It's left over from the baby blue background. And then I'll be able to start picking up highlights and doing the face details hair, all the fun stuff. Yeah, just I'm doing that. So I might as well hop on stream, see if anyone's around on this last day of 21, on the eve of 22, which is promising to be a great year. Because honestly, how much worse can it get? Gonna regret saying that. You know what? Let me. There we go. I think too many people are online, as my focus is blown again. It's been an interesting year. Lots of stuff going on. I'm sure everyone's going to have great tales of 2020 and 2021 to share with their kids. Kind of looking forward to see what they do with it's a Peacekeeper, John Cena's DC thing. It's coming out in a week or two. Looks entertaining, but from the trailers, but it's always hard to gauge how good that's going to be based on the selected top scenes that they decide to use in a trailer. What am I getting here? Yes, thank you. I know I'm live on Facebook. So I still need to, I guess, watch the Book of Boba Fett. So I heard that that's pretty good. Robert Rodriguez did the first episode. I don't know if he's doing all of them, but definitely a fan of his filmmaking style. So I'm sure it can't be too bad. Here come all the last minute year end shopping deal emails. It's something I will need to do this year or the next couple of days is go through all these email subscriptions I get and unsubscribe from like Home Depot's weekly newsletter and all that stuff. Because honestly, I don't need to know that decking nails are on sale or whatever. Whatever content they feel is relevant to me. But I do want to hit up Michael's and see what they have on sale this week. I didn't check their Boxing Week sale, see if there's any BOGOs on paint or proper supplies. Maybe pick up some illustration boards, see what that's all about. Still not sure how I'm gonna handle his eyes. Either I'm gonna make him glow or just try to set up the pupil and kind of try to make it real, like not real, realistic looking, or give him a more comic book eye, all yellow. most artists choose to do the eyes first, and that's probably the best way to handle it because it's one of the most important parts of the face, and it's what makes or breaks a portrait. But I find myself most of the time, unless I'm using like full on portrait photo reference, um, I'll figure out the eyes towards the end and see how I want to render them. Like I'll block them in for the shape and positioning and all that, but I don't render the color, the highlights at the very end. So what I think I'm gonna do with this guy is when I start doing the facial details, it's gonna be very soon. Then maybe I'll make the decision. But so far, all I'm doing is the entire body is just hunter green and black. Obviously, for the black for the darkest areas, and just hunter green mixed with water, so it's diluted. Just layering up the midtones. So any of the contrast so far is purely between the midtone and the dark, and I will definitely throw in yellow into the mix to start lightening the screen. Maybe actually use a lighter green, like a leaf green or just light green to graduate the transition to the highlights. I was talking to someone the other day that um, one of the my biggest challenges when painting, and I see that a lot of time in other people's work, is contrast. Just getting um, enough contrast in a piece, but also getting enough value depth. And a good way to I found to gauge whether you have enough contrast or enough value range on your piece is to take a picture on your phone and just convert it to black and white and see if it pops the way you want it to pop. When I was in school, before cell phones, all that stuff, my art teacher said just squint your eyes because that will kind of blur out the details and you'll just get the lights and the darks, the light and the dark areas to pop. But no, you lose details, so it's not the best way to do it, in my opinion. I mean, if you don't have a cell phone, then that's all you can do. But with technology and the wonders of mobile phones, you can actually preview it a lot better. So actually, let's do that quickly and see what it looks like. All right, so that's what this looks like in black and white. And I'm happy with the value range in the body. I didn't finish his legs, so that's fine. And get a nice subtle value shift in the background. I don't want that's yellow, so it's not jarring white. So as I add the highlights in them, it's going to be all right. So really, this leg is fine. Um, this leg's a little messy, so I'm going to work on that now. All I really need to do here is define some of the edges because I do have a little bit of bleed from the airbrush. I don't want to draw too much attention here anyways, but so this is African Violet is what I used as the base. So just load up the brush with some African Violet. And just bring that color back. And I'm going to definitely throw some yellow and purple when I start doing the highlights on the pants. I'm just going to use the same yellow that I'm going to use to highlight the green, and then that way it's going to have a little bit of a consistent temperature. Cool, Sean. Thanks for hopping in, man. Enjoy New Year's. Have a great celebration, whatever you do. And wishing you and Stephanie a great New Year. And I'll talk to you next year. We'll talk in the future. It's funny. I was chatting with some people on IG that are on the other side of the world, and it's already next year for them. And while I understand the science behind it, it always trips me out when you're talking to someone. It's like, oh, it's tomorrow. It's already the next year. It just shows that time is irrelevant. It's just a construct. Many people seem to be fans of my cosmic sprinkles. What time is it? 12:47. So I'll be on for maybe another hour. And then I'm gonna head home. I'm gonna pick up a couple of groceries. I'm sure it's gonna be me and everyone else at the store. So I'm really looking forward to that. I really love a good crowd clamoring to buy potatoes. I don't even know what I need to buy. I'm sure I'll be told soon enough. Cosmic sprinkles. All right, let's see. All right, let's get cracking on the face. It's gonna throw some black in the mix. Oh, there's a brush. Get a smaller brush here. Maybe not small enough. Yeah, I don't really have much to say, as you can tell. So it's nice to have someone else join on the stream. Give you something to talk about. Maybe I can go solo. Dipping my hand in some wet areas. Hey, Tommy. Happy New Year, buddy. Hope you had a good holiday break. Or still enjoying a holiday break. The family is all good. Oh, jeez. It's not terribly cold up here. We're kind of tethering at the 0 degree mark, so not quite shorts and AC weather, but don't really need to wear a jacket either. So it's been pretty calm so far, weather-wise. But to me, that just means that we're gonna get like 3 feet of snow in a couple of weeks. So looking forward to that. I've only had to use a snowblower once so far this year, or this season. There, let's block in the hair. So for the hair, I'm just gonna just block it in with flat black, and then I'll pick up highlights later. Also, Hakasu, how much time have you spent studying anatomy? Not enough, Tommy. Not enough. Um, I did a lot when I was in school many moons ago, but that's about it. I think I have a good sense of kind of where things are supposed to go, but I still struggle with it. mean, superheroes are a little different because you can exaggerate as much as you want, and as long as it looks cool, it's fine. But get more like normal looking people, it's a little bit more challenging. But that's why they invented photo reference. So I think as long as you have a basic understanding of how the skeleton looks and kind of how everything falls together, comes together, you can just wrap muscles around it. I mean, I can look at the Hulk here and can point out things that are wrong. Not going to, but I do see things that are technically wrong. But then it's the Hulk, so there's no exact science behind him to say what's right and what isn't. Does he look cool? I think so. To look like he has muscles on top of muscles. Yep. Mission accomplished. So I'm just going to reinforce some of the darkest areas. So called core shadows. Just to add just a touch more contrast. And I'm just using straight black. It's going to settle a bit as it dries. It's not going to be quite as jarring because when the paint's wet, it looks a little bit more intense. Any ideas how Hawks pants grow butter shirts get shredded? Um, Latex? Censorship? I don't know. Take your pick. Prison bod, like all upper body, no legs. Skip leg day. It's best not to question it. Hey, no worries, Tommy. Go do what you got to do. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great New Year as well. All the best to you and the family. Thanks for the support. We hope to be able to meet some of you guys in person next year. Let me find my way down to the States and hit a con. That'd be nice. Let's get some detail here. How am I on time? O'clock, okay. A little hesitant to start working on highlights. Because I'm not sure I'll be able to get the same paint mixture later if I mix a strong batch now. So if I do start doing highlights, I need to get a good amount of them done in one shot. Mainly because I'm probably going to work on this at home over the weekend. So, yeah, I forget my point. Scared to do highlights. Blah, blah, blah. Something like that. Just highlights scare me. It's too wet. It's just so wet. I'm hoping it'll be a nice, quiet, long weekend. I have some prelims I'm working on for some other projects. We want to get Whoa, it's too much paint there. There we go. Get as much of the preliminary work as I can done this weekend and today. I'm not doing anything too crazy, so to do some grocery shopping, go home, have some lunch, late breakfast. Watch a movie. And, once the wife goes to sleep, do some more drawing or painting. Ooh, maybe if I can muster up the energy to stay up till midnight. Go live on Instagram around midnight. By muster up energy, I mean not get too drunk and pass out. That's not funny, but it's definitely a possibility. Oh, hang on. Here come the emails. Sorry, I just gotta answer an email quickly. I don't understand why the focus keeps on dropping. I think I need to get a new webcam. Gonna be my next investment. Get a 4K webcam or something fancy. It's funny. 2 years ago, webcams were kind of cheap. Get a nice Logitech 1080, uh, well configured, good lens camera for under $100. But then all of a sudden, everybody needs a webcam, and prices just went through the roof. Given the webcam I'm using now, which I bought like easy 10 years ago, I think it was $70 then. They still sell this exact model for like $149. It's like, are you kidding me? This is a 10-year model. All right, let's start lightening up the pants a little bit. Like I said, to lighten the purple, I'm just gonna add a touch of yellow to my mix. That should do it. And just gradually add some highlights. It's going to make for very subtle gradation. Have even thrown in too much yellow at this point. One thing I found is as I've been exploring acrylics the last year, is using a limited color palette is actually quite beneficial for a couple of reasons. One being because it forces you to really pay a lot more attention to the color mixtures and how you get the tones that you want using just a few colors that you have, but also for more of a performance point of view, if you will. There's only so many colors you're using. So, for example, right here, if I mess something up, I'll have no problem going over in the original base color, in this case, African Violet, and repainting that area, bring it back to the way it was before I did the highlight. So if I totally mess up a highlight or a part, I don't have to worry about having to mix the original surface color to get it back to fix it. Now, if I was mixing a purple, using like 7 different colors and a touch of red and a touch of blue and maybe a little yellow in there, some green, it make it really hard to match that initial hue, initial tone. Now, using more colors in the mixture will definitely create more depth and will make for a more potentially a more intense piece, but kind of find balance there. Maybe more of a fine art approach versus an illustration approach. Yes, I don't fully understand the difference between illustration and fine art, except that fine artists don't respect illustration. I think maybe it's a matter of illustration has a very limited gamut or range of emotion that it's trying to get. emotional response you're trying to get from the viewer. Well, fine art is a lot more broad. I'm sure that there's various definitions. Different people look at it in different ways, but see, I wouldn't consider myself a fine artist. Emails just keep on trickling in. Oh. Yeah, I think that's as much highlighting as I want to do on the pants. It's enough to give a clear definition of form. So highlight the edges that are facing up because he is primarily lit from back top. So we have the kind of outline. It's called rim lighting, and something's lit from the back. Kind of has a bit of a glow on the edge. But he's also lit from the top and back, so the areas that are facing the top should have a stronger highlight. At least that's the way I look at it. Okay, I'm gonna try something risky. What am I on time? Maybe like another 10 minutes. So it's gonna add a touch of watered down yellow on the silhouette. And it's already going to start to create more depth to the form. So this is just a hint of that key light or rim light, sorry. It's too much water. Come on. It's a very fine balance between too much water and not enough water. So I'm not sure if this is actually showing on camera. It is very, very subtle. Which is exactly what I'm going for. Because I do want a very gradual transition at first before I do the core highlights. I think it's starting to show, but should be a lot. Yeah, now it's starting to get a lot more noticeable as I do it in the on the abs. The the advantage of working with water instead of medium is that if you do something you don't like it, you could just wipe it off like almost instantly. Medium, because of its tacky nature, you can't. You have to let it dry and then paint over. But medium has its own advantages. Like looking at different artists or different pro level artists and kind of how they how they work. Adi Gronov generally uses water. Um, De Vries seems to be more on the water side. Bianchi as well, but then Olivetti is all about matte medium, and it shows because his paintings have just such a glow to them, which you really get by building in those layers of the transparency that you get from the medium. Um, not to say you can't do that with water, it's a piece of felt, but medium allows for a lot more gradual blending. So it makes gradual blending a little bit easier. It's a little bit more consistency. With water, I kind of try to get the same amount of water in every refill of the brush. It's not quite that easy. So, and then, of course, there's people that just don't use medium, they just mix paint, just more of an oil painting approach, like Greg Hildebrandt, Ricardo Federici, right? The way they paint. It's pre-mixing all the different colors and then just kind of, for lack of better words, coloring by number. Um, so I said that I don't really want to get into the highlights on the figure because I'm not gonna probably won't be able to match the mixture. But right now I'm working with a single color, and it's just the bright yellow mixed with water. So I will have no problem reproducing this at any point because it's just getting the consistency, matching the consistency of the water, which is simple enough. You can always layer it on. So start very soft and then add more pigment if needed to get it to the level that I want, or just continue building in layers like I'm doing here. Maybe I won't even need to mix in another color. Really liking the way this is starting to pop, so it might just be enough to use the yellow. I will still need to do a pass with white to really make the, the main highlights at the end, but so far I'm pretty happy with the yellow. It's a little messy. I'm gonna need to touch that up. That's too wet. Whoa, excuse me. There's one of those little pieces that I mentioned earlier that I know that is wrong from the anatomy side. Is the shoulder. Shoulder is made out of three main muscle groups, and they all kind of tie in together. So make sure that the tricep and the bicep go under the shoulder versus on top. So if that's my tricep there, that's my tricep there. It needs to go underneath the shoulder. So it looks like the shoulder wraps on top. Okay, I gotta wrap it up. So pack up my toys. Everyone for tuning in. Thanks so much for spending a little bit of your Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve with me. Uh, Everyone else, have a wonderful New Year's. Hope everything's good. Best wishes to you and your families. Thanks for the support over the year. Looking forward to a lot more fun stuff in 22. Hopefully, get more of a schedule. And that's it. So, just thanks everyone for the support um, and the kind words. And wishing everyone a great New Year's. I'm out.